Right, welcome. Um, really happy if you can see something, and even more happy if you can hear me. This game is starting with a bit of a delay. Some of the players are still lining up. We're waiting for a couple to join. Probably they're figuring out their white card, thing that happens in the phone games. And we'll be with you shortly as soon as the last few will be rounded up. And we're waiting for the map to flip at the moment. Tonight we're in for a good game, which is my first ever stream in the HLL competitive space, which is going to be HLLE, HLL Elite, a well-known EU-based competitive team, going against my neighbors here in the Australian region, TFMC. We can take a quick look at the league standings. So this is a Division 2 game, which basically you can see the standings on your screen. It's the last game of the regular season before the finals. HLL is currently in the second place with 3 wins and 1 loss, and TFMC is in the fourth with equal number of losses and wins. And yeah, not too much, I guess, at stake in this game, but still, to confirm the standings, maybe for TFMC to move a little bit up, because as far as I know, 9PZ will not have the last game. They will just have the 5-0 automatically. 9PZ is going undefeated in this division. But yeah, still going to be a good fight. And I see that the players are almost ready. I think everyone is in the lobby, so I'll be with you as soon as the map switches. Alrighty, looks like the teams are ready. In 1 minute, they're gonna be flipping the map. We're waiting for a couple of guys on the HLL side. It's early morning for HLL. It's evening here in Asian Pacific. So yeah, basically, you know, waking up, getting into the game might be hard sometimes. Which is gonna happen pretty soon. Let's take a look at what we have here. If you're interested in the starting team list, starting rosters basically. Oh, okay, map is switching, didn't have a chance to show you that. So Sainte-Mère-Église, the midpoint is gonna be Hospice tonight. I'm still on the loading screen. Maybe some of the guys too. If not, I'll have to rejoin the server. After the update 18, as you know, it's not going as smoothly as it's used to before. Okay, perfect. Looks like we are in. So we're joining the ally side. I'm looking for the quantum. Okay, the RT guy is in a tank, unfortunately, so we'll just go here. All right, here we go. Let me start the scoreboard so we can see who's where doing what. Teams are already moving towards their starting positions on the wall. We are gonna move towards Hospice. I'll also make sure that my voice chats are on zeros. Okay, I think we are good to go. So Hospice tonight, it's a very well-known map, a very well-known midpoint. Here it is right below us. For LA side, as you can see, you will have main approaches on the northern map edge, this small road that goes in. You will also have a main road that goes front door, and of course the southern side is where we expect a lot of action tonight, which is going to be, you know, all those small yards and alleyways, etc. For the German side, usually we see the truck parking somewhere here in this wheat field, and another one or two going in the southern side of the town, south of Hospice or further south. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here in terms of armor. Medium and a light tank are moving map edge for both sides. Let's see if we can get any truck snipes going on. But so far, while the teams are approaching the midpoint, it's all peaceful and quiet in here. Okay, rockets are coming in. Missing. Another one. Let's see where it goes. Also missing. So the LA truck is already here on the northern side, and as I said, German armor and one of the German trucks are approaching the north. This way. Here we go, flare is going up. Let's hover over the main point. Yeah, heavy German presence in the Whitfield, though as we can see, Allies has taken the initial control of the strong point itself and of the town south of it. There's, I guess, a garrison over there on the very map edge, again, to push this road. My waffle beer is approaching that garrison. Let's take a look for a sec. He's placing a satchel unnoticed near, oh, it's not the garrison, it's a couple of OPs, I guess. There's also the German Lux, and I think one of the German OPs hammering this road. The satchel should be going off pretty soon. A lot of smoke, a lot of action on this northern side. Ooh. Yep, that satchel wipes out, I guess, the OPs and all the infantry presence of the Allies here. Back over the midpoint. We see Allies still having control of the town. On the LA side, though, there's at least a squad. Going here. The cap is going in favor of Germans at the moment. I forgot to start the timer, so give me a second to do that. Okay. So the timer should be synced now. You see Germans pushing Allies all the way out of that big yard towards the plain. The block is approaching the Allied light tank with a satchel. Uncontested second satchel at the moment. And probably will go out any second now. Medium is still there, controlling the northern side. Okay, so the point went in favor of HLLE. We see Allied blueberries trying to come back through that front door and also having some control in the southern part of the town. Don't mind my dog barking in the background. At the same time, Germans are occupying all the northern part of the map, though. There's a tank crew, I guess, over there. Maybe they're repping. Let's see what they have here. Yeah, there is a... There's a medium here, which probably got a couple of shots from Allied medium over there, which is still there, hiding a little bit behind the plane. Supplies are coming down on the southern side of town. German supplies are coming down closer to the center point, Sainte-Mère-Église. We see that a couple of LA members are trying to regain control over that northern road. And again, I think having a medium here helps a lot too, you know, to keep it clear for now. Okay. Let's see what's happening here, closer to the Sainte-Mère-Église, to the church. We see Shifty squad here, pushing through these yards and alleyways. Oops. Let's follow him for a bit. Oops. Never mind. Okay, so as you can see, here's how the town south of Hospice looks like. Mixed presence of the both teams. Let's look at the map for a sec. What do we have here? Two mediums on the northern side of the map for the Germans. Allied medium is still here behind that plane. Other than that, TFMC has this couple of garrisons. Looks like a bit of a gap in the south, which is used currently by the item squad here. And yeah, heavy control of the hospice by the Axis at the moment. Let's get into the action and see what the guys are up to. Medium is taking fire from, I guess, Rico, the AT guy. Yeah, Rico is lining up the second shot. Hits the tracks. German supplies falling down for garrison or rep stations out in the Whitfield to the north, closer to the map edge. Yep. The armor is so close, kinda, but divided by the plane, the buildings, the fence, so they for sure know about each other's whereabouts, but not currently pushing. Looks like Axis got a pretty good control over this northern side. BB with the MG, hiding in the bush, watching the Allies trying to cross that open field. Firing through the smoke, making it hard for them to get any control of this northern side. We even approached this road, not to say to establish anything there, given there are 2 tanks at the end of it waiting for them. Mason is here with his squad pushing front door. We can see that German medium is finally moving closer to the Allied tank. Bombing run incoming. Bombing run for the Allies, I guess. Yep. The Allies armor is right there taking a hit. Backing up. Oh, both tanks are now moving further south. You can see Allies medium backed up, turning the turret this way. What is it? The heavy? Oh, it's a heavy that pulled up. I'm sorry. So heavy and a medium both watching this road now. That medium seems doomed. They managed to wiggle out of the first couple of shots, turning around. Before misses again. Before takes a ricochet hit from the AT guy on the left. Nelly for Tato. Taking another hit. AT guy right behind it. Surrounded by infantry, they push into the position of the Allies. Where is that medium hiding? Okay, it's here. They made a U-turn. So they know that there is a heavy right behind them. Okay, P4 is gone. Heavy armor presence right now in this point. That heavy is backing up. This medium needs some repairs. Nice standoff. I can hear that probably it's PB still firing from the same bush. Still covering the same field. Not letting this squad of Z-Pack and these guys to cross. Yep. This tank backed up for reps. We also see a lot of smoke and fighting going on here. Trubby. Qonzer right in front of him. Yeah, takes one. Probably hears that tank. Takes two. Will this satchel go on? Okay, I saw the blue chat popping up. The dead engineer probably alerted the tank that the satchel is right behind them. Good stuff. And now that tank is pushing away as fast as they can. At the same time, we can see that a couple of Germans are slowly pushing for the middle of the town, wrapping around, getting north of Cemetery. But the cemetery still looks well under control by the Allied forces. Yep, garrisons too. Good line there from HLLE. TFMC looks a little bit more clustered in terms of OPs towards the hospice, which is understandable if they lost this part, letting HLL push through. Apart from this little area, not much else, you know, you spread out too, a lot of open fields here. Let's go back to the strong point. What do we see here? Okay. Let's stay on top of allied armor for a bit. They can't see anything through the smoke. Rico, AD from HLL is right there to the right. Okay, they're gonna be watching that road for now. Rico is going down. What's going on over here? Okay, an interesting push, multiple. Yeah, that assault player didn't live long, trying to climb that tank. One OP goes down. Great push from, what do we have here? From Nelly Fortado, clearing out that clustered area. Remember how many OPs were here just a couple of seconds ago? And they're going all the way into the back line. Sweet action, lining up a rocket shot. Gets one rocket in. And they got right behind that tank. 2 shots in, tank's down. Impressive push from Nelly Furtado, gets another rocket in the back from Sweet Action. But again, it looks like another armor stationed there on the net edge is covering them, helping them to clear infantry a little bit from their back. Yeah. They're single-handedly cleared a lot of the back line. You see that those OPs are coming back up. Another OP went down here. Well, one tank that got, I think, 2 rockets in them, which after update is not enough to stop a medium. Cleared out this front door presence for HLLE, so TFMC is now a couple of steps back. Again, I'm really impressed by the action so far, and English is not my first language, so I'm not thinking much about what I'm saying, and if I do say some weird shit, then let me know in the comments. Okay. Allies keep crawling into this area with a couple of yards, a couple of corn patches where you can hide OPs, and which gives you enough cover to push all the way through the strong cap. One SL is over here. I hear a recon plane going over. There's a carcass. Mason sitting here, I guess, on the very edge of the hard cap. Okay, Rico in front of him, takes Rico down, looks around, he's basically alone, a single ally player. Will reach the strong point at the moment, but I'm not gonna read that name. He's getting Mason down. Okay, I see that Cemetery is starting to get some pressure, like 20% cap towards Sis, and at the same time, who do we see here? Just a couple of guys on the southern side of the point. Yeah, 3 players and the squad lead drones approaching them, we can see that allies should be getting some bodies back to this garrison to defend. The cap starts going back into the favor of the Axis. Their recon pulled over, looking for a garrison, I guess. Garrison, which is... where is it? Well, if I can spot it from the top, no wonder that the recon tank hasn't found it yet. LA recon, also driving around in the same area. Where is that garrison? Should be right there, maybe on the other side of the hedge. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, here it is, in the bush. Got it. Okay, seems they took it under control. Let's go back to hospice. Oh no, they didn't. That recon is still driving around, not succeeding in fighting that garrison, and now trying to take the light tank of the allies down. Okay, they're looking at each other right now. And that's it for the Axis recon tank. Okay, anything interesting? Well, as you saw, lost connection to the server, which happens. Now I'm gonna go and try to get back in online. This happens to me regularly after update 18. Let me pop up a matchup review for a bit while I'm trying to get back into that server. Okay, looks like we are back. Yeah, here we go. Again, sorry for that, guys. That happens. Back in the game, back in the action, entering the admin camera. Let's see if we missed anything. Flying back towards hospice. While we're doing that, I see German supplies falling down here, way back behind cemetery. Closer to the crossroads, probably for the future. We still have a couple of HLL guys in the back here. My lawful beer is chasing that tank. What does it have in his hands? Oh, it's their tank. What's going on? Am I on the wrong side? No, I'm not. So, full squad and the medium are in the back here, north of cemetery, currently pushing towards hospice. Again, I think with the idea of clearing out these garrisons and the back line. We can see that HLLE is holding a great line, controlling the map all the way from the map edge towards the town center, the midpoint that's called Sainte-Mère-Église, if I'm not mistaken. And TFMC lost some ground while I was reconnecting. Okay, that medium goes down. Here are the ones that took it down. Chinese eyes, nice. The names is the part I'm scared about the most. Streaming for the first time. Timmy is doing good here, I think. Trying to get himself unstuck from that trench. And maybe getting satchelled at the same time. Or not. Yeah, MP40, satchel should be on. This is just a tiny bit embarrassing. Medium pulling up. They'll have an uncontested view of that heavy's backside. Yeah. Another armor standoff. Before manages to get away, but barely. Allies couldn't line up the last shot, and they're off into the horizon. Wow, interesting. I wonder what led this heavy to get into this unfortunate position. Two mediums now here, trying to help their infantry control this front door into the point. TFMC with this like curved line, losing ground to the north. Tanks are taking fire from way back over there. Nice shot. Nice shot. AP is also over here to take care of the second tank, I guess. Together with an MG. Is it our RPB? Yep, same guy from the very north edge of the map. So yeah, Access took early control of that road. Never let TFMC guys get there and, you know, establish any presence, and push now all the way through. Sorry for the shaky camera. All the way through to here. What else is going on? Let's go to the middle of the town now to take a look. I see Lux firing over here. Something just blew up. Yeah, it was another medium. So TFMC lost their armor presence here in the northern side of Cemetery. They lost almost all the foothold they had in the town south of Hospice, and now we can see that together with the support of the Lux, I guess. Let me see if I can see him on the map. No, it's not here now. I heard it here previously, but with some support. Oh yeah, there's the Lux. They are pushing towards this area north of Cemetery, which is, again, quite crucial to take this point. German supplies are falling down in the town. What do we see here on the map? Is it now Tara? No, it's now Orpheus driving around in the field, doing some drifting to avoid rockets from TFMC AT players. So far what I've seen, a very impressive armor play from HLLE. Impressive pushes with the mediums all the way to the back, destroying the backline and the presence of TFMC guys there. I thought this was an airhead. It is not. It is a supply crate. Another medium is over there, again surrounded by people, but driving around the south of cemetery, dealing with infantry, maybe even drifting a little bit. So this garrison is no longer here. New garrison's up. Commander is trying to re-establish some of the backline structure that TFMC had. As you can see on the map, HLL is wrapped around now on the all sides of cemetery, not leaving much space for TFMC to get back in the game. Yep, and this point looks like gonna go in favor of HLLE. Players going up, might be a little too late for that. Garrison's going up also. Let's see if TFMC can get a spawn wave back in. Okay, they are defending at the moment. Quick look at the map gave me the impression that the situation is critical for TFMC, but looks like they are regaining control a little bit. Orpheus is coming back, still rolling around in the backline, uncontested. It's Nelly Cortado. Orpheus and Nelly Cortado. Okay. Let's see some of the action here at the northern part of the church, northern part of the cemetery, sorry. Jonathan Wick trying to protect this garrison. Doesn't spot grunts laying down there in the distance. Goes down to Carl. Spawn wave for TFMC comes in. Uncle Django Jr. Shins. Spawning of that garrison, trying to clear back the northern side of cemetery, trying to get back their presence. Yeah, but the backline for TFMC doesn't look much like the structure they had before, and we can see that HLLE has already 2 garrisons in the back. I don't know. Seeing those HLLE medium tanks just driving around is a bit painful. Looks like total domination for me. Each time I look at the map, I see some of their mediums still over there. Okay. Well, a little bit of the chaos on the map. I don't know where to look. I'll probably stay hovering above the cemetery because we have, let's see what's here. We have a heavy pulling up, probably not knowing he has a lot of enemy infantry to his right, and a medium pulling up to his left. Zozo lining up the shot. Not good enough for the heavy, but Tierney maybe with the, okay, that was a good shot. Tierney with a satchel. Right on the side, heavy is trying to roll around. Yep, the satchel is gonna be placed. Oh! Timmy seems to be trading with the HLL. Another tank member whose name I'm not gonna be reading. Trying to follow his own tank also goes down, and yeah, that heavy is gonna go. The medium is dangerously close for a second to that satchel. No, medium is fine. Heavy is down, unlucky for Timmy. Okay. Okay guys, I can see that the YouTube stream is well on its way. I mind you that it's going with a 30-minute delay, so I have no idea what you're seeing right now at this exact moment, but let me know how do you find the stream for the first stream. Yeah, that's the medium pulling back to the south, trying to help their guys. There's a recon tank not far. Oh, and it's gone. And the satchel goes off, clearing out this area. German recon is over here. Let's follow them for a sec. My left for beer, I guess supporting that recon tank. They're in a good position south of Cemetery, looking around. Okay. I think I'm keeping too much to the flanks without showing you the front direction, which is shifty and push pull, pushing into the cemetery. Again, not much on the ally side to stop them at the moment. There's no garrison at cemetery. The closest one is there in the north. The cap is flickering. That recon tank pulled up. So basically the hard cap currently is fully under control of Axis, though we can see a big spawn wave coming from the northeast. Okay, let's get a higher level overview of what's going on. We see allies trying to push back towards cemetery to their own defensive hard cap, which is went 30% towards Axis, but now going back in the allies' favor. They are controlling this couple of yards in the north, though with limited forces. HLE at the same time. They were all over the map at some point. Now looks like they're more focused again on the north, where they've pushed through all the way to the H line. And TFMC is working off 3 garrisons right now around cemetery, trying to defend that point. "45 minutes to go. Sorry, I froze there for a second. I've just realized I am alone in my squad. Let me actually redeploy to the armor guy. And we'll get back into the action in a couple of seconds. So far, action-packed game, HLLE kind of dominating the map, dominating the north. This is supplies falling though for TFMC to re-establish the southern garrison. There's also an ally garrison, Axis garrison close to it, somewhere in that field. Let's go back to cemetery. What do we see here? At the moment, for the Axis, it's Goose, who is maybe trying to look for a strong point garrison, which is none at the moment. Northern garrison got taken out. Shifty and Perlo pushed through, staying on the northern edge of cemetery, fighting all the way across, a lot of open space to shoot through. Again, looking at the map, looks like TFMC lost a little bit more ground on the north. We can now see HLL squads pushing through here in the yards north of cemetery. They are pushing through here where TFMC garrison once was, and all the way again up to the H column. Commander is going to be trying to re-establish a garrison, but pretty good short, whereas he's leaving that supply truck empty. Country and Dank pushing. I guess they will start pushing south from here. Another heavy rolling out for the allies. TFMC established sort of a line, but again behind their defensive point. Who we have here? Mr. Chinese Eyes moving through to the front line, though he's moving towards the area where he will have completely no infantry support whatsoever, unfortunately. No immediate danger for him right now, apart maybe from maybe the MG from before. Let's see if we can stick to him and see will he be able to. He won't. Swanky goes down in front of this heavy. Recon plane coming over. Another medium for Germans is rolling up the cemetery from the south. This is a carcass. And it is Orpheus and now it's Furtado, famous for their backline pushes. Let's see what they can do this time. They have a couple of OPs on their left. Yeah, they're taking out now quite successfully. Pushing this hedge line, still with 2 OPs already down. Nice U-turn. Rocket goes by, another OP is down. This is nice. Basically, again, they rolled into the back line. They are clearing out, probably with the intel from the infantry, clearing out OPs, looking for garrisons. The garrison is left of them. Will be spotted now, they drove by. Yeah, I think the FMC is quite lucky in this case that they missed the garrison, but I think they might be going for that heavy again. Okay, I'll stop chasing tanks all around the battlefield and get you in the action. Let's follow some fighting here around the church north of cemetery. Taka, Timmy switched to infantry. We saw a couple of unlucky tank situations for him before. Preach. Pushing through. I guess it was an Axis bombing run. Lux is pulling in. Again, cemetery, this stronghold itself looks kinda empty. So yeah, just checking that everything works as it's supposed to, because I'm getting so consumed by the action trying to follow things happening all around that, you know, I'm not even sure my stream is running. I hope it is. Looks like it is. Okay, spawn wave comes in. TFMC now has a garrison on the strong point. Again, because they lost ground north there, where they had it previously. Let's follow them trying to clear that out. Kearney there. Punisher is laying down, watching the entrance gates. Corner is going off. Under pay gap, fighting his way to the northern yards. Okay, good squad push. Flares going up. Flare from Captain Carter. Let's see. What do we have here? HLLE still completely controlling any possible approach to hospice. So the only ways of attack are, as we discussed in the beginning, this road, and like through the town from the south. And all of that is fully under control of HLLE. Heavy is looking south from there. And yeah, TFMC is just trying to fight their way north from the cemetery, pushing out of their defensive strong point. Storm is placing the flare up. Probably that light tank should be spotted by now. Ally medium is clearing out the south. Zozo, Shifty, and Sergeant Lincoln together. Second force fighting with the squads here in the northern side of the TFMC's defensive strongpoint. Shifty takes one. Mitzi gets revenge, but he's now against 3 HLLE players. Takes 2. Takes 3. Reloading. Got him down, but good push from Mitzi. Cox is now pushing through. Okay, we see TFMC is slowly trying to push back, re-establishing one garrison there in the north. The town center seems a bit awfully quiet. it? Turney and Ross clearing out these couple of yards, and I guess the OP that was here. Let's check out the north for a bit. Let's see what's going on over there. Rico takes down Yakman. Lux rolling around the northern part. I think maybe the Lux or the infantry were the reason for that garrison going down that was here for a bit. They're stopping for... they're not stopping, they're just waiting for Rico to provide them infantry support. And again, pushing into the... way into the back line. We see this tank squad, Nelly Furtado and Orpheus doing their thing. The tanks are staring at each other right now. And ally medium is not gonna win that stare down, unfortunately. Again, maps looks like HLLE got a lot of control on the north of Cemetery and pushing into the point. These guys again in the back line doing their favorite maneuver. Will they take out this garrison this time? No, they're driving past it again, I think for the second time in this game. Now I guess they see it. It's a miss. Nate Dog has a chance to do something about it. One rocket in, and the garrison goes down. Very effective cleaning of the back line from the same squad on the medium, running over the Nate Dog too. Mitzi gets a rocket in, I think in the turret. Misses the second shot. Okay. As you can see, Shifty takes down some supplies and pushes into the strong point right now, together with the Goose. Goose takes someone down in front. Shifty, a lot of infantry in front of him. Let's see if they can stop them. Yep, trades with Staka, and then Forever Raining gets him down. Well, that's where we've been for the last, I think, 10 minutes. TFMC trying to fight back their way north from Cemetery, but they're getting pushed further and further down. At the same time, they are trying to reestablish something out there in the north. Two garrisons are now up. Maybe that's gonna help them regain some structure back and take some pressure off the Cemetery, which has been under very heavy pressure for the last 10-15 minutes. And now we can see that the hard cap is again getting overrun by HLL forces. Daka here with his guys trying to, or her, I'm sorry, trying to protect the Cemetery garrison. The cap is now going in favor of HLL. Cox is right in front of him. Daka spots Musty, but a little bit too late. So as you can see, south of Cemetery, west of Cemetery, north of Cemetery are completely taken over. A good bombing run coming in together with a spawn wave from the TFMC commander. Let's see if this will help clear it out a little bit. At least 3 players are in the way of it as far as I can see, maybe 4. Bombing run comes in. Oof. That bombing run just barely missed the spawn wave from that outpost. Just with a couple of seconds, and now we can see that Royal Man established his, not for long, but established his MG firing into that cornfield. Zaitsev is here for HLLE, right behind the heavy MP40 in his hands, which means that the satchel is probably on it. Timmy is looking for that satchel. Will he be able to take it down in time? No. Unfortunately, that's a no. Well, what do we have here? Here we have HLL heavy pushing in. So yeah, Cemetery is basically lost. I've missed that moment and I apologize for that. Following the action, I am forgetting to update the score. So the last point is actually Crossroads over here. Crossroads, there's a couple of buildings, a couple of yards. There's a big wheat field behind it, stretching all the way into the north, which usually used by the attacking team to get in the back of the strong point. There are a couple of wheat fields over there that also provide some cover if you're pushing through the cemetery. And we already can see that with the support of 2 heavies, the HLL forces basically cleared out TFMC's front line north to south. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. A big spawn wave comes off this garrison. Medium comes in. I think that HLL is gonna do their last push together with the help of 2 heavies and a medium. Lux is here behind the medium tank, running over the support guy in the meantime. I think that Lux should go down. It's a miss. A lot of rockets fly over that Lux, who desperately try to get away, but not that easy to do in the open field when the barrel of a medium is looking right at you. But while they were distracted by that Lux, look who pulled up here. Again, a stare down. And Nully Furtado comes on top again, together with Orpheus on top of that allied medium. Okay, let's see what do we have here. Supplies are coming down for allies. This is how their strong point looks at the moment. Finally, enemy medium is taken down by coordinated work of the 80 players. Yeah, and as you can see, HLE has a solid line north to south, controlling all the parts of the map. They're currently overrunning this garrison with, as I said previously, heavy tank support. Though there's a spawn wave right behind him, maybe. they'll clear it out. There is an AT guy right behind who is crossing the road. Storm is not looking at the tank at the moment. That's right behind him. Maybe he forgot he's playing AT. I'm not sure. Maybe he's too consumed with the action. Oh yeah, here it is. Hits the truck, I think, or maybe hits it in the back. Punisher comes in with a satchel. This heavy, since they missed the garrison, was left without any infantry support. Now it's taking satchels, rockets, and everything in between. Another rocket from Captain Miller goes back in. Pushko tries to provide that infantry support, but it might be a little bit too late for that. Yep, that heavy is gonna go down. Okay. We can see a couple of TFMC players getting their way back to the cemetery, even managing to get it flickering for them for a little bit. Hard case entering the strong cap together with Qonzer, I guess. But yeah, you can see that a big spawn waves comes in though. Brad is the only one who left out of 4 or 5 guys spawning on this garrison, and yeah, cemetery is now clear again. Let's get back into the frontline action. Deng and Cox are now trying to push that garrison together with Shifty here on the south side. And looks like they are getting dangerously close. Big spawn wave comes in. Shifty takes 1, takes 2, takes 3, and goes down. Cox right behind them. Hard case. Unfortunately, couldn't spot him in time. Jonathan, Weak, Jose, and Mad trying to push across the road, excuse me. And Cox here might have placed a satchel on the ground. Not sure about that. If he did, it's gonna be a big one. Pirlo reaches that garrison. In this Whitfields, I hate Whitfield garrisons and overall Whitfield fighting, people just running through each other. You just spawn on a garrison, like, you know, you had 8 guys spawn it and it goes down to just one single Pirlo who snuck in because he was, you know, covered by the wheat there. Yep, Whitfield garrisons are rough. Okay, so looks like we have a heavy here who's gonna meet a medium tank approaching them up ahead. No, it's not that one. I need to go a little bit to the right. Here they are. They are turning currently. Moving to maybe help on the front door of their defensive point. Let's give some love to the flanks here. It is that medium. Gender pay gap, couldn't get a rocket in. It's ricochets into the sky. But at least they know this medium is here. Z-Pack trading with... no trading, sorry. Tyranny takes him down. TB comes in. We see slowly but surely HLLE is getting more and more ground on this side too. Let's stick with this heavy for a little bit. No, it's not the heavy. Where did the heavy go? Oh, heavy went all the way into the strong point. I think I missed a tank engagement in here. Okay, that light tank goes down, which means heavy should be aware there is a tank to their north. Not much we can see from here. Not much they can see too. Okay, TFMC are holding well for now on their last point. German supplies falling in around there on the red-blue line. HLLE again having one heavy, one medium, pushing towards the point. Last heavies. Fate was not that great, passing that same garrison in the wheat field that got reestablished, I guess. But that might not be for long, as Sergeant Lincoln is crawling towards it. Nadog is trying to understand why the garrison is locked. Mitzi is also here. I think that was a friendly grenade, unfortunately. And Sergeant Lincoln goes forward. Maybe seeing the infantry coming from there, he thought that's where the garrison is. Maybe he left a satchel. Yeah, he left a satchel on the ground, and this garrison goes down again. For me, it kind of looks like HLE is concentrating forces on the red-blue, trying to make sure that they cleared everything out before maybe one final push with 18 minutes remaining. TFMC at the same time have no garrisons on the map at the moment. A couple of supplies are laying down around crossroads. The heavy is still up, though dangerously close to the medium. That is... okay, heavy's hurt. Medium is right there. So this medium should see that heavy any second now. They get one shot in. The heavy looking their way at the moment. That's why the medium is quickly turning around. Swanky goes down, probably marking that medium tank, that heavy tank, sorry, for the allies. Medium comes up to support them on the northern side. Looks like here Gustorny, PB and Bushko are pushing through. Look, all gathered on the red-blue. Maybe they're waiting to get a garrison up. Maybe they're just waiting to form a good solid line with the tank support to do that, you know, final attack. No. They are pushing through into the red zone, probably trying to reach this wheat field, which will allow them to go all the way into the crossroads. 2 tanks for TFMC in the wood field, heavy and the medium, though again same as for the garrisons, having armor in the wood field is not something I really like for this exact reason. Z-Pack manages to spawn off that OP, saves the tank, saves the day. Heavy is going back a bit, maybe to do a circle, maybe to refill, maybe to rep, because they're hurt. The closest rep station they have is... okay, they went back to destroy that medium, I guess. Yeah, that medium in the HQ. Funny thing is that the RT, as you might know, is unkillable, so Balco had to look at that medium tank trying to destroy their armor and trucks, while, you know, that medium was looking at Balco firing his RT shots. So close. Okay. Yeah, as I said, the HLE squads are pushing through towards that wood field. Junior, hard case, trying to stop them. Buddy as a cell. Kron spots him first. Buddy goes down. Yeah, you can see how with this medium here, they're starting to pour into the blue zone of TFMC. There's a new garrison established. It's BB's buddy, I'm sorry. New garrison established over here in the north, but I guess it's not gonna be there for long. Here it is. Tierney, sorry mate if I'm destroying your name all this game. Spawn waves come in, body jar takes him down. Buddy still alive. Swanky with Forge are gonna, I think, take that garrison down. Swanky unfortunately will not make it to see that garrison being destroyed. Animal box driving in the back, taking a shot from the HQ. Was it from the HQ? Yeah. The heavy is repping here with the default rep station. Okay. 2 TFMC tanks just rolled out to the north, trying to hold back that push. And again, they're mostly surrounded by HLL's infantry, unfortunately. Lemon is kind of sliding on my screen a little bit without any movement animation whatsoever. This medium is hurt, driving back slowly, shooting in all the hinges they can around them, not knowing for sure where the enemy infantry is, and at the same time here Chinese Eyes is surrounded by Swanky's squad. Gurney lines up a shot and takes them down. Swanky here leading the push through this wood field. I've mentioned earlier, they basically have a pretty much covered up way all the way into the strong cap with 10 minutes left. Also, I haven't seen a single airhead in this game, so probably I've missed them because I can't believe there were none. Yeah, I'm just trying to capture as much action as I can for you. At the same time, as you can see, TFMC gained some ground here at the front door. So the line we saw previously from HLLE is pushed in the middle, but at the same time the flanks are pushing in. Here in the south we have, what do we have? Oh yeah, we have a medium again. Let me guess. It's, yeah, same guys as before, doing the same thing they like to do so much. Go in the back and destroy some of the TFMC's backline, getting down OPs, getting down Garys, and pushing, let's say, almost all the way into the hard cap. At the same time, the northern part is starting to collapse. Swanky is going down. Pushko is right behind him. Cox is already in the strong cap. Probably will be trying to look for a strong point garrison, which there's none. Yeah, he's now gonna just establish himself here, delivering the information about the cap weight to others in the HLLE. TFMC has a couple of garrisons north and south, though they even look like they've established a good line. So let's try to find some action. Maybe they will push HLL back a little bit in the last 9 minutes of the game. Let's follow the armor for a bit. And that's an enemy's heavy again, taking down that garrison. Hard case is following it though. Not sure if he can do much being a squad player. Yeah. From what I've seen so far, total armor domination, but maybe something's gonna change. That medium is taking a shot. They are all the way back down. Heavy from the allies is pushing in. They should know where the enemy heavy is at this point. Right in front of them, Cox is close with the satchel though. Unfortunately, Chinese eyes can take him down with that splash. Well, lucky for them, that fence is gonna stop him. Let's see two heavies engage here in the open field south of the last point. That heavy is badly hurt and it goes down to freshly wrapped Chinese eyes. Well, as soon as I said about the armor domination from the HLLE, we at least seen some good plays from the TFMC armor. What do we have here? Pushko and Zozo still pushing that woodfield. Pushko is looking into the HQ basically. Mason should know he's here by this point. Mason is taking the fence, shooting a couple of times into the fields. Can't spot anyone unfortunately, while Pushko hears him shooting and takes him down. Zozo and Cox are in the strong point. Cox went further south there to try and take down that tank, was stopped by fence and now hanging out in the strong cap. Not too big of a threat so far, but again, there's a visible gap on the north, and there's this garrison that basically all of TFMC is trying to push out of. Push out of, is that the right verb? Let's see what this heavy is up to. They are trying to repeat, I guess. I don't know, I think they might know where that heavy is and they are trying to get in their back. We'll know if they succeed pretty soon. They're coming towards the garrison of HLL, passing it through, and okay, I guess they didn't know where that heavy was, because they are now hugging the hedges full speed, trying to go around. Roberto gets a rocket in. Heavy stops on the fence. And at the same time, while these two heavies engage, yeah, not for long, we see that the cap of the last point in the last 5 minutes goes halfway towards the HLLE. We see a full squad present in the northern part of the strong point, more coming in, armor rolling in, and yeah, basically TFMC trying to get there from the last garrison they have in this wood field, but looks like their defenses collapsed. The remaining of their defenses collapsed. Again, this is not an airhead, which I thought it was. This armor is crushing that spawn wave. Mitzi, Punisher, all trying to get to that strong cap, but again, it's totally occupied by HL infantry. Rico clearing the what's left of the HQ, and that's gonna be it. A 5-0 for HLL. Well, tough game for TFMC. We saw a lot of action, and unfortunately for TFMC, HLL showed, from what I've seen, armor domination and winning the gunfights too a lot of the times. But still, unfortunate for TFMC, good game for both teams, and yeah, I'm gonna see you somewhere else, someplace else. Feel free to let me know how did you find my first stream ever. I think, looking back now, I was nervous and talking non-stop without thinking much what I'm talking about, but I hope that commentary was not distracting, but more of a, white noise in the back. I'm gonna get into the comments now and see what you guys think, and yeah, have a great rest of your Saturday.